Look at we're together.
Exactly, in the same
We're
place.
sitting next to each other. I know. And we're listening to Max Costello's The Ballad of the Brother Sisters. That's what I'm calling it because I can't think of a better name, even though it's not a ballad. Ballad, sorry. But yeah, that's just the way it's going to be.
What it's going to be.
Yeah, that's it. So, hello, everybody. It's Wednesday. I know what we are completely out of context, which is fine because I've actually been telling myself all week that I'm a day ahead. So like yesterday, which was Tuesday, which is, one of the worst days of the week because it's like the July of days. But so I would like sit there thinking it's Wednesday and then I'd be like, it's Tuesday. And then I would silently swear to myself. And I did that like 12 times yesterday. Like, hey, it's Wednesday, Tuesday. Fuck. It's May too, which is the hardest time of year to be a teacher. So it's like, oh, we're going to make this worse. And then one of my girls, third hour, I have this young lady, she's very funny. And she just looks at me. She's like, oh, Miss Brothers, it ain't Wednesday. And I'm like, no, Maya, it's not. It's Tuesday. And she's like, oh. So it's catching. I'm like, we're all in the same place. We all just wanted it to be a day ahead. So anyway, and as you know, we are doing a Wednesday show because we have a super special guest and we're trying to accommodate her schedule. Now, don't worry, everybody. We're going live on Facebook today, but don't worry. This will drop on Monday on Spotify and all of our other little platforms, as always. So if you're looking for new content on Monday, you're going to have it. So there you go. Don't panic. This is for everybody. Okay. This is for the good of the universe. So, and I think we're going to go ahead and bring our special guest into the studio here. I'm going to take our background down and I'm bringing in the Lynn Brand.
Oh boy.
That's right. Hi, Lynn. Yeah, there you are.
We didn't catch her in mid nose pick or anything.
No,
so
we
that's
didn't.
good.
And I was
No,
watching. I was like
no.
looking to make sure she wasn't, like knuckle deep in there. So don't want to put anybody in an awkward situation.
No,
That's only in
we
a
just do
car.
that ourselves.
That's right. So, Lynn Brand, you are with us today because you have officially been tabbed as the godmother of the Brother Sister Smarts on Fun. So
Yeah, I know. I love that. Thank you.
you're welcome.
No,
You've earned it.
Thank you.
You've absolutely earned it. So we'll get to some background with Lynn in a minute. But as you know, we usually at this time we go through and we do our spiel. So this is our little brief synopsis. And there's Lynn. There she is.
There
the
she is.
godmother of Smarts on Fun.
Oh boy.
Yes. Lynn, I will say this. It was really hard finding pictures of you on the internet. We can usually find
good.
tons of pictures of our guests, and there's like 3.
Yeah, I found 2. I found 2 of them. I used them several times.
Yeah. I used the one for the promo, and that's just your profile picture on Facebook. So I used that without permission. I'm not sorry. Someday I'm going to do that. People are going to be like, I'm suing you. I'm like,
oh, damn it. We've got nothing.
It's like, would you like Betty or Marla?
Or you could have Bobo or Coo.
I'm going to suggest you take Marla because she's easier to get into a cat carrier. If you try to get Betty take Betty. You try to get Marla into a cat carrier, you're going to bleed and you're going to need to go to the hospital. Yeah. So just so you know, or maybe just urgent care. So yeah.
I did have to take Joe to urgent care once after some time with Betty.
Yes.
Not Betty.
Marla. And I had to take myself to urgent care after spending some time with Marla. Yeah. Trying to get her into a cat carrier. Yeah. So fun. Okay. Anyway, so wait, we have commentary already. Lisa Samra is with us. Lisa Samra, of Chicago fame. So yes. Hi, Lisa. You're awesome.
Lisa. You're awesome.
Love you.
Cool. Miss you.
Indeed. And do you want me to do the synopsis today, or would you like to do the synopsis?
Feel free to, Jenny Brothers.
All right. We are Anne and Janice Brothers. We are the Brother Sisters. As you can see, as we sit by each other, we look alike. Our neighbor, we have a young lady who's our neighbor. She looked at us today and she's like, you look like sisters.
And then she said, same parents? And we're like, yeah. She's like, I thought so.
I'm like, there you go.
There you go.
She wasn't wrong.
She wasn't.
So yeah, and it just so happens by right of birth, our last name is Brothers. Good. Okay. We are in our 50s, which means that we are free of many of the constraints that younger people have, which is nice. Also means we're Gen X, which also means that we either worked at Kinko's or we knew lots of people that worked at Kinko's. So
my husband, my sister, my friend Leanne, probably a bunch of people I'm forgetting.
God, half of the theater department worked at Kinko's. For those of you Gen Zers and millennials that don't know what a Kinko's is, Kinko's was a place that had lots of copiers, and you would pay to either make your own copies or you would pay Kinko's to make your copies for you.
They were open 24 hours a day.
Yes. So that way, if you were a business person
or a student,
you could go to Kinko's and they also had computers that you could rent. So and then print things for like 49 cents a print, which was a scam. And what else? They had a light table. You could get things bound. They had 2 different kinds of laminators. You could get business cards made. They had little choppy things. Yeah, and I worked at Kinko's in 2 different states. I worked at a Kinko's in Golden, Colorado, and I worked at the Kinko's in Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Duncan worked at the Kinko's in Ypsi and the one in one of them in Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor had 3.
That's right, because Ann Arbor was a big city.
Well, I had the University of Michigan. So
That's right.
wherever there was a university or a college, there was a Kinko's.
There was Kinko's. Yeah, I worked at the Kinko's in Golden, Colorado, which is where the School of Mines is. So there you go. Yeah. So yeah, it was fun. I was a shift supervisor. My manager was coked up. Oh, Lynn just dropped her phone. Right. He was always coked up, so most everybody there was pothead. It was pretty much standard stuff, really. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we probably worked at or knew somebody at Kinko's. We talk about smart stuff, dumb stuff, fun stuff on this show. We are not cool, hip, or sexy, and we know this because we do not accept either DJ or esports personality as a career.
Yeah. No.
So
whenever my students said something like that, I'd be like, no, you need to learn to read.
You need to learn to read instead of becoming a DJ.
Yeah. DJ is not a job.
That's not a job. Even though to their credit, my students aren't wrong about the whole, you can make a living at esports, but none of my students are dedicated enough at anything to actually become esports personalities.
Yeah,
so there we go.
Still got to be pretty dedicated to it.
Yes. Lisa Samra, who is Gen X, remembers when Kinko's was 24 hours.
Exactly. Yeah, because, never knew when you had to get that term paper copied. So.
Yeah, and they usually had coffee sometimes. So, yeah, that was nice too.
Lots of paper clips.
A lot of paper clips. I admit I stole things from Kinko's. I have a thing for office supplies. I really love them so much.
Duncan worked for it. He was an assistant manager, so everything hey, honey, can you copy this whole book for me?
For free?
For free, and then bind it.
And the answer was always yes.
The answer was yes.
Yeah, it's not that I stole big stuff. It's just the highlighters and paper clips. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like it's got to be some sort of sickness. I don't know. Either I don't know. Anyway, we are not a celebrity influencer or a murder podcast. We're not opposed to becoming celebrity or influencer podcast, but we're really hoping not to become the subject of a murder podcast. So high five on that.
High five.
Let's go. Let's see. We are great to listen to if you want to learn things about stuff. So anyway, sorry about all the noise in the background, you guys. My yard guys are here doing the mowing, and it just so happens that they come on Wednesdays. So
we are.
Here you go. What are you going to do? I don't mind. Let's see what else. We are not a PG-13. We're kind of rated R because sometimes we say things like shit
and fuck.
So there you go. Twat waffle, ass hat,
bag of dicks,
pyramid of dicks.
So that may happen.
Up today. Anyway, so sorry if you've got little wee ones at home, earmuffs them, okay? Or just talk to them about what these words mean and that they're a way to express yourself, though maybe not the best way, especially if you're a hairstylist and you don't know the people that are. Wait, I'm going to mute us for a second. Hang on, this got real.
That.
All right, we're back. Sorry, the guy's right outside our window right now with the weed whacker, and he's getting it.
It's not a euphemism.
No.
Either one of those.
No. So anyway, if you are fascinated by the current conversation we are having about Kinko's and weed whacking, literal weeds, not like his penis. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Look, penis, there's another one.
There's another one.
Okay. I don't consider that to be a bad word, though. That's a scientific term for a body part. It's fine.
Exactly.
You can always, listen to us on Facebook, or you can catch us on our website. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music.
And YouTube Music.
And just YouTube. And you can ask Alexa to play us.
Yes. So there she goes. She just beeped.
I know.
You can like us, follow us, hit the bell, and leave us a review. Give us your feedback, answer our questions and answers.
Yes.
Take our polls.
So and that's not a euphemism either. Or high-fiving. Okay, good. All right. All right, now Lynn is shaking her head. I'm like, you started this. This is your fault.
This is your fault.
All right, let's talk about smart, dumb, or fun stuff and hit it.
Mine was a dumb thing this week. I was at a family farm and home, which is where I buy my chicken feed sometimes. Anyway, I was there buying chicken feed and seeds, and I found this Baby Yoda / Grogu nightlight. And I was like, I need this. And so I bought it. If you are watching this, I have a picture of it not lit, and then with it lit. It's awesome. So I am mildly obsessed with Baby Yoda. Duncan always, he always corrects me. He's like, it's Grogu. I was like, whatever. Baby Yoda eating cookies, Baby Yoda eating frogs, Baby Yoda just being Baby Yoda. The show is dumb as fuck. I mean, it really is terrible writing.
Say that. The Star Wars fans are going to drop us.
Sorry, Star Wars fans. But damn, if that little puppet just doesn't get me every time. I love that thing.
I've learned that when it comes to getting things for my sister, if it's got a Baby Yoda slapped on it somewhere, score.
100% in. I was like,
So yeah. So
Grogu for the nerds.
yes, and for the win. So well done, farm place that
Mhm.
Anne gets her chickens from, because you can get, now see, that's what I'm talking about. You can get your chickens at the farm fleet place, and you can also get Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda nightlights.
Something for everybody.
Mhm.
I love it.
Mhm.
America. All right, good.
America.
Okay. For me, I chose something smart and awful. If you were in the state of Michigan yesterday, you know that we got hammered with a really nasty set of storms. Tornado outbreak last night. This one will go in the books as far as outbreaks. Last night there were 11 unconfirmed tornadoes, and I say unconfirmed because some of them actually might have been the same tornado. So we'll see. The National Weather Service is in Portage right now. They're in Portage. They're in southern Michigan. They are taking a look at A, how many tornadoes they think they have, and B, they're taking the time to look at the damage and rate them, because tornadoes aren't rated until after the damage. That's how they're rated. They're rated by the damage or the destruction that they create. So the National Weather Service was in this area today looking at the damage, and they'll have those ratings out probably either late today or tomorrow. But it was bad. So Portage, where I live in Kalamazoo, we were just north of it. But they have confirmed 2 in Kalamazoo or in the Portage area. Yeah, it really tore some stuff up. It was bad. Huge shout out to Michigan Storm Chasers. That's the smart thing about this, is that Michigan Storm Chasers was on the ball last night. They did a really good job, just sort of kind of previewing the coverage. You know, the National Weather Service was saying we were not in a terribly severe area. They were rating us at like a 2. But Storm Chasers all week was basically saying, you know, you should still be frosty and alert when it came to what was happening. And they did a great job with their coverage. Even though we were getting pounded pretty good up here in Kalamazoo, I wasn't super concerned about where I specifically was, just because I was watching their coverage and they were doing a really good job of kind of tracking it. And it was obvious that it was going to stay south of where I was, but they were really great about trying to get people to safety, telling them, you know, if you're in this area, if you have people in this area, call them, let them know what's going on. And I just think they did a service. I think they may have saved lives yesterday. I truly believe that. So good job, Michigan Storm Chasers. You guys are the best. Okay. So it's time. We are now unveiling Lynn Brand. And okay, so first off, let's give a little bit of history. Lynn, we've known Lynn for a really long time. You know, Lynn was one of our high school teachers. So
she was for me, she was drama and forensics class, and then also I was in a number of plays.
Yes,
that she directed.
I was on the forensics team. Was in a couple of plays. And Lynn, I don't know that I actually had you for a class. I had you for drama class. That was the one class I had with you.
I think that speech was not a required class, because like now it is, and for most of my career it was. So that's how most people remember me, is from speech class. Drama went away.
Drama went away?
It did.
Oh, I'm so sad to hear that.
Yeah, that was a fun class. We did Charlotte's Web. It was a blast.
Oh yeah, it was. It was.
Some pig. I know we've been having the further adventures of Lynn's phone today. So yeah. All right. So all right. Well, hey Anne, how about a puppet show? We lost Lynn. She was having. Oh wait, she's back. There she is. So
there she is.
I gotta hold the damn phone. Okay.
I don't know. We were just enjoying the further adventures of Lynn's phone. It was amazing.
I'm so inept when it comes to phones.
Okay, so Lynn, you're a boomer, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we can be like whatever boomer.
Whatever boomer.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's what the cool millennial kids do. Oh, we lost her again.
Oh, there she is. Back.
All right, cool. So, Lynn, we have a bunch of questions we're going to ask you. So, like I said, you are our high school teacher. We've known you for a really long time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear us? Is your volume up? I wonder if anybody
Can you
is
hear
anybody
me?
out there?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Well, that's weird. Hey, somebody do me a favor. If you are watching the show right now, can you just give us a quick comment? Make sure you can hear Ann and I to make sure that we are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can totally hear you.
Yes, I'm nodding my
Jenny?
head.
Yeah.
Ann?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Can you
we can hear you.
me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear
we can
you.
Wait, I'll
I
wait,
can't hear
put it
you.
right, hang on. I'm gonna put it in a banner.
Okay. So I'll sit here and chat with everybody. Hi, everybody. This is Ann and Jenny Brothers, the Brother Sisters, here on Smart Dumb Fun. We are in the process of trying to interview our former high
See, this
school
is what
teacher,
happens.
Lynn Brand. Yes,
I
Lynn, we
can't
can hear you.
you. I can't hear you.
Huh.
So
Looks like her speaker's on.
it does look like. All right, I'm gonna offer a suggestion here. So I'm gonna
Okay.
say,
Yes, she was our high school drama teacher. And also last summer at about this time, she's like, Ann and Jenny Brothers, you need to really get yourselves together and make this into a real podcast.
Can you hear me now?
yes.
Yes. Can you hear us? No.
And I'm trying to communicate through all of our little stuff. Wait, we have a comment. The comment says, "Heard, chef." All right, so the general public is hearing us. Lynn cannot. Yes, Sammy's with us. Hi, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
So yeah, you guys, I'm gonna go back and talk a little bit more about the weather yesterday. Oh, here's Lynn again, and the winner is.
Ew. Okay. I won't do anything.
I won't.
I won't touch anything. I won't move.
Can you hear us?
That's what she said.
I can hear you.
Sorry. It's being inappropriate.
I was inappropriate. I was being not PG-13. You said, I won't touch anything and I won't move. And I'm like, that's what she said. Well, my version of that is shirt on, lights off, no talking.
Oh, you guys make me laugh.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. I swear to you, we are going to ask Lynn questions today. Okay. So anyway, all this to say this is that Lynn knows us. She's known us since we were teenagers.
She's known us since we were teenagers.
When we were just a couple of dumbasses.
Exactly.
So, wait, that would imply that we're not dumbasses anymore. We're not providing evidence to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Please do not listen to anything we've just said.
That is correct. Thanks anyway. All right. So Ann, why don't you take the odd questions since you wrote those, and I'll take the even questions since I wrote those.
Okay, that sounds perfect.
Okay,
all right.
Okay, so
good.
Lynn, we ask all of our guests these two questions. Question number 1, tell us something smart, something fun, and something dumb.
Well, my smart thing, Jenny stole. Because I was going to talk about the storm and how.
We'll talk about the storm.
Oh, right. Well, I was in a meeting and it was a school board thing. And all of a sudden we heard the sirens go off and we decided to just keep going. And we were in Sturgis and really everything happened north of us. But it just made me appreciate Mother Nature's fury. I mean, it was wild. And I know several people who were very affected by that, the storm, by the tornado. So that was just, I don't know very much about weather.
Well, it's my obsession. I love it so much. Because the thing is about a tornado is that 1 minute everything is fine and the next minute everything is destroyed. That's what's crazy about a tornado is that they don't last very long. I mean, that whole weather event yesterday was an hour. And it was, and what it did, it's like 1 minute, I was just looking at some video where, people just lost, their yard, their garage, everything just disappeared. And you're like, oh, it really, it's that reminder that you have no control over anything. So.
Right. So I was going to talk about documentaries, but I think the idea that that actually happened last night in our backyard was just pretty crazy.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. So well done. Yeah, this is one that people are going to be talking about for a while. This
I
is
think so too.
and it's a little bit unnerving when you consider that this is the second set of really of you would call them tornado outbreaks already happened this year. The first one happened in February, and now we're having a second one in the month of May. That does not bode well for the rest of the summer.
Right.
That's the part that I find most unnerving. So
Right. Well, and a
so
couple of years ago, we had straight line winds down here, and
I
it
remember that.
literally chopped off trees in the middle of their trunk. I mean, it was the
Mm.
strangest, most bizarre thing. And I mean, an entire, you know, bunch of trees, it's just like acres of trees were just boom. But it was
Yeah.
weird. It was surreal. In fact, it looked like a movie set to me because it was so strange how they snapped off. Lots of stuff was destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was a that was a terrible storm.
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
was.
All right, Lynn, well, tell us something fun now.
Oh, well, I'm going to do the dumb thing.
Okay, do the
Because
dumb thing.
let me tell you what I did yesterday. You're just not going to believe it. I couldn't believe it
bet
when
it.
I did it. I was
Yes.
pumping gas and I drove away with that gas nozzle in my car.
Son of
I
a
did it.
bitch.
So
I
our dad
did it.
did that once. Our dad did that once. So it does
Thankfully,
happen.
there's a release.
You know
Oh,
why? Because it happens.
because people do that. You're not the only one. You are
Well,
not the first, and you will not
Not
be
be
the
the
last.
right? Well, so I walk in. It just fell right off. So I kind of coiled it up and I pushed it off and I walked in and I said to this really nice, but she was a very young person. I told her what I did and she just looked at me like, what'd you do? I told her. Look, and it was really early in the morning. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I
You were
said,
still asleep.
yeah. I said, here's my phone number and my name and just call me if I owe you money. I didn't know what to do. So anyway, that was really dumb. I felt
Yeah,
really dumb.
that's okay. And you know what? They don't teach you that in driver's training.
They do not. They're not. What do
Well,
you
I
do when
don't
you
know.
and the gas thing is still in your car?
Which they
Yeah.
should talk about. What do you do? There should be a whole unit on dumb shit you do that it's not going to wreck your car, but you're going to have to deal with anyway.
Right? I know.
Like when
I
you
know.
leave your bag on top of your car and drive away with all of your driver's license and all that shit in it,
Or
because I've
your
never done that before.
cup of coffee. Never done that.
Nope.
Or your toddler in their car seat.
Okay, stop. Okay, I have to tell you guys this. Okay,
Okay.
I guess I got a new car last week. I got a used Subaru
Oh.
last week.
Oh.
Okay, which is nice, but that's not the thing. The thing is, because it's newer, and this is the thing with new cars now, it's a 2020, so it's relatively new. When you get out of the car and you put it in your parking and put your key out, it dings at you to check your back seat.
Make sure you don't have a baby in there that's living in that.
I'm like, oh shit.
Do I have a baby back there? Oh my God, how many babies have I left in my back seat?
They're like, oh my God, the car is writing me to take my baby out. The robot is telling me to take my baby. Like shit.
The robot's a better parent than I ever would have been. Thank God
What does
for
it mean when
thank
the
God for AI.
car has to tell us how to parent? Shit. Anyway, I've been meaning to tell that to somebody for like a week, and I'm like, I keep forgetting it. And then you said like something like, I'm like, oh my God, that's right.
I know.
Up to the roof. When you get in, you start the car. Is there a baby on the roof? I don't know. Oh my God, where's the baby?
Check your roof for the baby. Like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. Okay.
Okay. And so
I'm
the fun
screwed.
thing is that in a couple of weeks, I get to take 3 people to Wicked, and they've never seen it before.
Oh,
That'll be so fun. Where are you going to see it?
DeVos in Grand Rapids. Have you
Nice.
guys seen?
I've not seen Wicked.
I've not seen it on stage, but I've seen the various TV portions of it. They've on YouTube. You can do all the unlicensed clips, so I pretty much watched it that way. God, it's good.
Yeah.
So good. And I read
Yeah.
the book actually too.
I
I
did
thought the book
too.
was great. So
Yeah. Well, the book is way more dark, I think.
Mhm.
oh yeah, oh so dark.
But yeah, it's a great show to take people who have never really experienced a big show. It's a big
Yeah,
show. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll
That'll
be
super fun.
super fun. We were just talking about they are showing Little Orphan Annie at Miller Auditorium right now, and we were over there walking the other day, and that was the first show we ever got to see. Avis Brothers, Grandma Brothers took us to see that when we were kids, and I just remember it was like, oh, I love this. I'm like, people are singing at me, and there's stuff, and I don't know. I was probably like 7 or 8, and I just thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen in my life. I'm like, this thing is speaking my language.
Well, and it's one of the gifts, I think, a really great gift that I gave both of my kids.
Yeah.
You know, because their dad is fairly athletic, so they got that side, but I wasn't. I never was. And so that's just, it's like, you know, we're going to go to shows, and we're going to go to some little shows and big shows, and they both still love it. So
Great.
that's nice. Yeah.
Nice. Now, wait, Sam, is it Wicked that's coming to Denver or Little Orphan Annie? Because I would see either one.
Well,
and can you get me tickets? Because Sam works at all the cool events now. She gets to do all that fun event
That's
stuff.
right.
So, Wicked. Okay, it's Wicked.
Cool.
And Sam, I thought since you were at the Nuggets game the other day, they would at least win. They lost by 26. You need to have a talk with those Nuggets.
26. But
No.
okay, a professional team?
Yes, they are. That's like what happens in Little League, like the under nines.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. So anyway, next question. I digress. All right, Lynn, what is your spirit animal? This is also a question that we ask everybody on the show.
I know it is, because I listen to your show.
Yay.
Yeah, there you go. I've really been thinking about this, and I am my dog, a Labrador Retriever.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That is a good one.
He, you know, he's 5, and so he's slowing down just a little bit, but he loves the water. He loves to ride in the car. He loves open air. He loves to nap. He loves me unconditionally, and I like to do that. It's just like, yeah, we're kind of one.
I think that's beautiful.
That is beautiful. I'm taking a second here. I'm looking to see if I can get a picture of your dog onto the show. Give me 1 second here. Let me see what I can do.
He's a doll.
Let's see if I can get that. There he is.
There's the puppy.
All right, you ready, Lynn? I'm just stealing things off your Facebook page. Is that your dog?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
look how cute he
Good
is.
looking.
He is
very good looking dog.
He knows it too. He's posing right there. He's like,
like,
this is my good side.
Exactly. All you need is a duck hanging out of his mouth.
Oh yeah, perfect. Should be on the cover of Eddie Bauer or Matt catalog or something.
Exactly. Whatever dog catalogs they have for dogs that hold ducks.
Dogs and ducks.
Well, and the vet always says he's so nicely put together.
Okay. That sounds like your dog or your vet's got some dog envy there.
It does. Yeah. This dog is a tasty morsel.
He's
now, is there anything he's a classic what?
Lab.
Okay. I was gonna say, is there any sort of thing that, so he's your spirit animal? Is what is it specifically that your dog does or is part of his spirit that you think is so amazingly awesome?
I think
he's, I think dogs in general, the people in their lives are, the most important thing. And so, while he is just one part of a lot of different things for me, it's the reverse is, he just is so loyal. You can tell by his eyes. He's just a great dog. But I think dogs in general, if you've got a gentle dog, then there's just nothing better.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Oh,
Right.
Well done.
Yeah. There you go.
Are you okay? Dog. Your dog. All right. Next question for you. Anne, would you like to take question number 3?
Yes. Please tell us about a book that changed your world perspective and how.
Okay, so I morphed this into a movie. Is that all right?
Sure.
Okay. Because just recently, within the last year, I saw a movie called The Two Popes. Have you seen that?
I have seen that. That's a really great movie.
Oh,
okay. It is a great movie. And I'm an Anthony Hopkins fan. And then Jonathan, what's his last name? Jonathan.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name. Hang on.
Price.
Yes, Jonathan Price. Yes, he's the one that.
was Pope Francis.
Yes.
I'm not a Catholic. I've always kind of been fascinated by the Catholic faith. And while it's flawed in so many areas, like a lot of religions, um, I I've never really known anything about the Pope. And so when I saw this movie, and I, I know there was elaboration, and there were things that it was like a docudrama kind of thing, where they they fabricated some of the story, but the essence of the fact that Pope Benedict um, gave up his position, he retired while he was still living,
Which is
was
unheard of.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was huge. And Pope Francis in the movie, that's who I fell in love with. I mean, I'm crazy about this guy. And so I listen to every single speech he makes. He's one of the kindest humans I think there's ever been. And he is so empathetic. He's tolerant. He's all encompassing. He pulls people together. And in juxtaposition with Benedict, Benedict was shy and reserved and didn't like the limelight, but he was very conservative. And Francis seems not to be so much. And so I think he's pulling in a younger crowd. And I am truly like, it hasn't turned my world upside down, but I'm so much more aware of what happens and how that figure is so primary for a lot of people.
Fair enough. Yeah, and he's pissing off all kinds of cardinals. So
Oh
because
yeah, I know.
he is. He's been roughing up the Catholic Church now since he since he took office, so to speak. So yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
So I kind of wish I was Catholic. I like the rituals of
Oh,
Catholicism. See, are you guys just like, oh my gosh?
mhm.
We were both raised very Catholic,
Very Catholic.
and
But
we are glad we're not.
yeah, I would consider.
Isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
The
There's a lot.
reason I'm fascinated by it is not the beliefs necessarily, but the ceremony. And whenever I'm in a Catholic church, and usually it's at a funeral, the mass is intriguing to me. I think I'm intrigued by the fact that the same mass is said all over. I'm like, really?
For the record, it's really hard to forget the words. Really hard.
Really hard.
Is it?
Once you've been doing it, once you start into that, it's the words just stay with
They
you
just
forever.
pop right. It's like you go back 20 years later and you still know
all the words. Yep.
It's all
Isn't that
muscle
something?
memory.
Now, see what that does for me though is that I fall into it's kind of like meditation, where the ritual is calming to me, and then I can go to a space where I'm thoughtful. In my church, there's too much going on. There's too much going on. And so, what's that?
It's action-packed church.
Well, you know what I mean? It's just like I'm distracted, completely distracted.
No, wait, which one do you go to?
Well, I'm Methodist now, but it was just, Protestant.
That's true. But when we used to go to church with because growing up, our grandfather Victor was Catholic, but Avis was a Methodist. And so we spent a lot of time going to Methodist church with Avis. And there was busy, there was stuff happening, people walking around.
Right. No kneelers.
No kneelers. That was the greatest.
That was the
just
best.
sitting. There was just sitting and standing. It was awesome.
It was awesome. Singing. That's great.
Yeah.
Everybody was chill.
Yeah.
They had better snacks afterwards too.
Way better snacks.
It was usually, Catholic church is just donuts and coffee. I'm like,
exactly. It's like people seem to really be trying.
It is.
Yeah. Anyway, I still don't go to church. But can you creep into a mass?
Yeah, they don't check your ID or anything.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, oh, you're not Catholic. How'd you go? They're like, no, they just like, especially if you'll leave a $5, you're good.
You're good. You're golden. Golden. See, this is why jerkovers make better Catholics than actually people born into it.
Totes.
So anyway, too much
your credits will transfer.
Yeah, my credits will transfer.
That's awesome. Okay, so Lynn, question number 4. Tell us about your experiences as an educator.
Oh, wow. I came to education pretty late. I was 27. And normally,
I was 30.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're all
Were
late
you?
educators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was it late for you guys?
Uh, I knew when I was a teenager I was gonna be a teacher, but I really avoided it when I got to college because I wanted to be, I wanted to have money. So I decided I was gonna be a petroleum geologist, and God, that was so boring. And then we went off and did the tour together for
Oh,
a
that's
year,
right.
Mhm.
and then, I had to go work at Builder Square for a while and try to figure things out before I'm like, "Brothers, just go back and go back and do this because you know you're supposed to." So by the time I got around to it, I didn't start my student teaching till I was 27.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was 29 when I started, or 28 when I started mine.
Yep.
Yeah. And I never thought about being a teacher. And then after the tour, I decided to be a science teacher, and I had no science background. So it took me longer because I had to get all of my science plus my education credits. So I practically got another degree just so I could be a teacher. And so it took
Uh-huh.
me longer. Mhm.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, because usually, you graduate from college and you go be a teacher.
mhm,
But when
mhm.
I graduated from college in 1979, there were no teaching jobs.
Mm.
So I
Mhm.
did all sorts of things, before. And then we were living in Brooklyn, New York, when we came back for the Christmas holiday, and I was sitting in church, and Mary Beth Brenneman, do you remember Mrs. Brenneman?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
she
Yeah.
was sitting behind me, and she tapped me on the shoulder. She said, "Hey, I think there's a job that you might be qualified for." Well, I'd been out for 5 years. And so was almost without a certificate. I mean, you got to hustle, and you've got to
Mhm,
do something, take classes or something
mhm.
inside that 5 years. So I called the superintendent, who ironically became my father-in-law. That was weird,
Wow.
right?
Hmm.
Anyway, he was superintendent at the time. And yeah, while we were still here, I interviewed, and we went back to New York. And 2 weeks later, he called and said, you want to come back to Michigan? So we did. And
Cool.
so, yeah, but it was, I felt old because, yeah, I was already 27. Isn't that funny?
That's so awesome.
I know, exactly.
You're an old lady at
Yeah.
27.
I
And
remember
so,
when you were there because you first got there. You were there when I was a freshman, and I remember thinking, "Oh, she's not as old as all the other teachers. She's the cool
was that
young hip
right?
teacher."
Well, and
She's young
another,
for a teacher.
a very bizarre thing is that I was teaching with the teachers that I had, which was really weird because now I had to call them by their first names, and I still wasn't very old. So, Wendell was my
Wendell
principal.
Moyer.
Yeah, Wendell. Call me Wendell. I'm like, are you kidding me? So
I
anyway,
can't even if I didn't just met you, I can't call you that.
I know, I
I
know.
I think that's slang for a penis.
Wendell was nice. I liked him.
I still think it's that.
so, so
Yeah.
anyway, when I started teaching, drama was like a big thing, and it's very, very quickly oral communications, which it morphed into speech, became a required class, and so I was the only one with a degree in it, so that became my baby. And
Cool.
so it was such a great ride, though. I always said that I had the best gig in the whole high school because, even though it was an English credit, I got to have fun. That was a really fun thing to teach. And, and because I loved drama or theater, that was just part of the game. I mean, I've got so many different stories of speeches. Do you guys remember oh no, you weren't in speech, were you?
No.
I
I
was, I
Yeah,
was
I
thinking,
don't think we didn't have to take speech, and I didn't choose to take it.
I
So,
did take speech, but I had a different instructor, a different teacher.
um, okay.
who taught
Yeah.
it? Who else taught it?
Mr.
Can't
Watson.
remember. Mr. Watson, that was it.
Yeah,
Thank you
Mm.
very much. I had
yeah,
Mr. Watson. Mhm.
yeah. So anyway, so many of my memories are of kids giving speeches or plays that I directed, or I mean, really. And what I know about long-term memory is that usually it is attached to emotion, whether it was wonderful or terrible or whatever. But the things that we remember, I mean, think about everything that happens in a day, and we can't remember all of that stuff. There's just too much stuff. But we do remember certain things. But why do we remember that? And if you really look at it and evaluate it, it's usually because it's attached to some sort of emotion. And that's why kids who are now adults, I mean, you guys are reaching 55. So
we are adults. Yes. Good.
Middle-aged coming up to me and saying, I still remember my visual aid speech or my demonstration speech. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Or they'll ask me, do I remember it? And I'm like, oh,
no, I don't even remember your name.
I only saw a milk.
Sorry.
So anyway.
You look like all the other ones I had.
Yeah, crazy.
Unless I thought you were going to end up a serial killer. I really don't remember you.
Well, and that's what students, it's easy to forget that a teacher in their career will teach literally thousands of students, and that's not, kids don't like thinking of you in that way, but it's like, if I don't remember your name, it's not personal. It's just, there's a lot of you.
Right. Exactly. Well, the boys became Bud and the girls were Honey.
Hey, buddy. Hey, sweetie.
Hi, Bud.
Of course I don't remember you.
I'll just say, I'm like, oh, God, you're going to hate me, but can you just tell me your name? I do that all the time. I'm like, I'm sorry.
No. And usually they understand. I mean, they only have a few of us and we have thousands
hundreds.
Of them, so.
Yeah, in the end, when you do the math, you're like, you're mathing. That's
Yeah.
So that's a lot of kids.
Carry the one.
A couple of crazy stories, and really there are just two that really stick out in my mind. This one, my son Isaac was in the class and it was first block and it was a demonstration speech, and this boy came and he said, I'm going to bring in my pig. And I'm like, well, you can't bring the pig into the classroom. He goes, no. I'm going to bring in a trailer and we're going to go out to the parking lot and I'm going to deworm this pig. And I'm like, oh, okay. So on the day of the speech, we march out to the parking lot and there is a flatbed trailer, but it's got railings all around it. And there are two sections and two little pigs. So this boy who did not like speech, but he was really an expert in what he was talking about, he did his little introduction, which was great. And then he climbs into the trailer and he starts talking about how the first thing you have to do is catch the pig. And and everything is going really pretty well still. And he has this big board, it's probably a 2x3 board, and he has to corner the pig. Well, he couldn't. So he stopped giving the speech. He started swearing at the son of a bitch pig. And he chased that pig all over this, gated off area. Well, finally he gets the pig cornered. The pig is pissed. I mean, squealing. He's really making a lot of noise. And the kids that are in the audience, including Isaac, my son, were just holding on to each other. They just could hardly contain themselves. It was so hilarious. It was so entertaining. It wasn't anything about what he should have been doing for speech, but just watching him do it was really funny. So anyway, he pulls a syringe out of his back pocket. He, bites off the cap and he gives this pig a shot. And I'm like, oh God, okay. All right, we're done. And I'm waiting for the conclusion and nope, he jumps over the gate and there's a second pig. And so now he's taking the board. This pig is faster, more mad, louder, really everything. And so we watch him, he corners the pig and he puts his hand behind the pig's head. So it's kind of like on his little neck. And he grabs his, the syringe out of his back pocket, bites off the cap. And the pig moves and he shoots himself in the hand with the deworming medicine.
See? Well, he doesn't have worms now. That's
He's not.
You should put that in his Tinder profile. Do not have worms.
I'll just never forget it. I'll just never forget it.
No. How would you ever forget that? Good Lord.
Oh,
wow.
And I remember saying at the end of the speech, I'm like, hey, we've got to report this because, you just gave yourself a shot. He's like, oh, I do it all the time. I've been dewormed a bunch. Okay.
I think the lesson here is don't get pigs.
Yeah, exactly.
Something.
Ooh, it's like when you're sitting down for that delicious egg and bacon breakfast, I'm like, you appreciate that bacon because that took some work.
It did. Yeah, that pig. It was like, I do not want a shot. We thought cats were bad.
No, I'm like, yeah. I've
Yeah.
never had to. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
amazing. Well done. That's a great
Yeah.
story.
Excellent.
I love that.
There are
All
all
right.
sorts. Oh my gosh.
I'll bet.
All right. So, Lynn, question number 5. What was your favorite vacation and why?
Well, every year I go to Puerto Vallarta. We go in February, and we've been doing that. This will be my 5th year coming up. And we know people down there, and so it's beautiful there. The weather is perfect, and all I do is relax, which to me is a really perfect vacation. We've taken a cooking class. We've done a cooking tour or a food tour where we got to eat with locals and off the beaten path and stuff like that. So that really is probably the best. And we're there for 8 or 9 days, which is enough to really start to relax. But
Sounds nice.
let's see, when is it? In October, I'm going to Italy with my family. No, not my person, my sister and brother and his wife. And yeah, so.
That
Yeah,
sounds amazing. What part of Italy are you going?
well, we're flying into Rome, and then we'll hit Venice and Florence. We're going to take a cooking class in Tuscany.
Ooh.
Right? I know.
Yeah, that sounds toit.
It sounds amazing.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm really excited. I've even started not packing, but like planning packing, which is very far away. But anyway, that's how excited I am.
That's because you're a planner. Teachers are planners. That's
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
do.
yeah.
That's what you do. It's okay. Totally get that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm packing for vacations I haven't even thought of
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
So there you go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Exactly.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So, Lynn, for the sake of time, I am going to edit out question 6, and we're gonna jump right to question 8 because we've got
Okay.
3 more questions. So, okay, this is my question. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. Scenario. When you go to bed tonight, and you are exactly who you are. Okay. But then in the morning when you wake up in your bed of your 17-year-old self.
Right?
So I know, right? So you have all of the memories of your current age, but you're living where you were. It's whatever year that was, 1977 or whatever. So what are 3 things that you would do differently, and what are 3 things that you would do the same?
Yeah. Well, I think that's too many things.
Okay.
One thing that I would do.
Thank you, Mrs. Brand.
For sake
I
of
just
time.
think it's a good question.
It
It
is a
does
great
require
question.
some editing. It's fine.
It's a great question. So, one thing that I would do differently for sure is that I would not be so careful. I was a very
Okay.
careful kid. Yeah, I cared a
I'll
lot.
buy that.
My teachers thought and doing the right thing, and I did not explore. Even though I was in things, I was in band, and I did things, but I was always very cautious. And it was only until I got much, much older that I'm like, screw that. Really, I stopped caring so much about what people thought. And I felt like I was becoming my real self. So it was
Cool.
kind of that I was so shy in high school.
Do you think that's a common mistake for most young people?
Do you? Oh, do I?
Do you? Yeah.
I do. And I
Okay.
was always drawn to kids who did not care. They could have given a fuck. Yeah. They were just like, I'm
I don't know
doing
what that is.
right. Right. And as a teacher, I was like, yep, that's the group I wish I would have been in, because it pulled the best out of you and gave you strength in a group. My group was kind of, well, actually, a couple of the people that I was with, they were more risk takers than I was. And so I pulled way back because I was afraid of getting in trouble most of the time, even though I never really did anything wrong, Anyway. So
I can totally relate to that. That's where I was. I'm like, I didn't want to get in trouble. So I watched Anne get in trouble a lot, and I did not like what I saw. I'm like, that
Right.
sucks.
That's the funny thing is that when you say that, Lynn, I feel the same way. I'm like, I would probably care less, and I cared a lot less than most of the people I knew. In my group, I was like the risk taker, and I was like, I would have cared even less.
Yeah. You know what I remember about you, Anne, is that of the way you dressed.
Mhm.
And you did take risks because it didn't single you out, but you were so individual that, you were not following a crowd at all with what you chose.
Should I show the picture of Anne in her skirt, her senior picture?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Do it.
Okay, let's do that. So, this is an example of Anne's style in high school.
Well, it wasn't, for Sturgis High School, it seemed pretty extreme, but I loved that was my favorite skirt.
You
In
look
fact,
great in that skirt.
I don't think I think I wore jeans like 7 times the entire time I was in high school.
Yeah.
I was, like, really excited about it, and I was like, "This is boring," and then I just always, and I loved those shoes, they were plastic.
Oh, nice.
And I love that sweater because I paid for it on, layaway. See, I know all my clothes.
Okay, you got that at Fashion Bug, didn't you?
I got it at Sycamore's
Right next door.
right next door.
Oh
Exactly.
my gosh. See, isn't that
Mhm.
crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I was really into secondhand shopping. I still am, but I mean, that's where I started secondhand shopping because everything was so I don't know. Like I said, I thought I feel like I cared too much. It seems like I didn't care enough.
Show that picture of you guys sitting together and you're leaning on Jenny.
Oh, the picture in the
Mhm.
park. This one.
Yeah. That
Mhm.
that to me, I was so glad that your mom included that because to me that is just a perfect depiction of who you guys are. It was perfect when I saw that. And by the way, Jenny, you are way more carefree than that picture says because I mean your sense of humor doesn't really come through in that picture, but man, because you were so much more athletic.
Mhm.
Although you were athletic, Ann, you just didn't do it in sports.
I didn't. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's right. This was Anne as an athlete
Yeah, that's right.
and the dancer.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah.
Mm,
Oh, so hilarious.
because
Okay.
you danced all the way through high school, didn't you?
I did. I did.
Yeah, I danced until I could quit. Mom said I had to go to dance for 3 years before I could play baseball. So, that was the deal. The second I finished my 3rd year and got my
Oh.
but don't tell my mother this. It actually really helped. I mean, honestly, I'm okay, this is the other thing. Are you ready?
Mhm.
I
Uh-huh.
actually really liked it. I liked it.
Did you?
I did. I still like to dance. I enjoyed ballet. It's just it was in the way of the other sports that I wanted to play, but I loved it. I secretly loved it. And now I'm outing myself as the fact that when I was taking ballet, and it just killed me to admit that my mother was right, that A, I liked it, and B, it made me a better athlete. Did all that. So,
But I hear
damn
that
it,
all the time
Cynthia.
about ballet.
Mhm.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
it really it's so strengthening and whatever, that
Mhm.
balance, all that stuff. While we're looking at those pictures, just show the baby pictures really fast.
Okay, here's Anne and Jenny as babies.
See, I still have a giant gap. See,
You do.
always had a giant gap.
Nothing. So, Anne, show
Ah,
your gap now. Gap now.
Gap now,
there you go.
Gap then.
Isn't
giant
that
gap.
horrible?
Okay, and I don't mean to brag, but we was adorable.
We was
You
adorbs.
were.
Same parents.
Same parents. I know.
I
We
know.
know the funny thing is we've been getting that question forever.
Yeah.
Because mom got that question once when we were kids, looking like that because we didn't look super like I was super blonde when I was a baby, and Anne had the dark hair. And mom got that question. We were at the grocery store once, and some
We
lady
were
was like,
toddlers.
"Yeah," some lady was like, "Oh, aren't they adorable? Do they have the same father?"
Oh,
That was the 70s. So, I mean, nowadays, yeah, sure, but the 70s, my mom was horrified.
Yes.
Yeah,
oh
mom, you ho.
my God. Isn't that funny? I know. But and I know we're going off track here, but I just think that the whole idea that you get to do this journey together is just so awesome. Because really there's nothing like a sister, especially when you love that person.
Hmm.
I
It's
mean,
true.
That is true.
It's true.
I'm telling you, I love my sister to the end.
Mhm.
And
Sweet.
yeah, and I can see that when you guys talk and laugh and you're just so delighted by each other and what each other says.
We're so easily amused.
Super easily amused, and we've always kind of shared that sort of
Mhm.
amusement with just in general. That's always something I'd say that we've had in common for a long time. You know,
In the recording of part of it though, you're in sync. You're in
Mm.
sync. And so
Okay.
that's cool to, have this like banter back and forth, but it's just like it totally works because sometimes it doesn't work,
Mhm.
And so that's it's so awesome. And
Oh,
what's
thank
really
you.
awesome is knowing you guys as younger people and then now not only knowing you and enjoying you, but being friends with you is just like such a bonus for me. It's just the best. Just the best.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lynn. That was nice. Now I get the feels.
Me too.
I had the feels.
Good.
Wait, I
So-
have to show this picture because I actually really liked this one dress this one time. This was my
Oh,
senior
isn't
picture.
that cute?
I know.
Isn't that cute? Guess who picked out all her clothes for senior pictures? Me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mom's like, Jen, you have to come up with outfits. And Jenny's like,
I don't know what to do.
I was like, I will come up with all your outfits and the jewelry.
And she did.
And it looks
Yeah.
great.
And I did get that dress at Fashion Buzz.
You did. Look at the shoulder
Oh,
pads
I
on
know.
that bitch.
It's like I got the B. Arthur going right there.
Look at you pulling off horizontal stripes and everything.
Well, you know, that's when I was a little thinner back then.
Hell.
Those were my skinny days.
You can wear horizontal stripes whenever you freaking want.
Now I look like a bumblebee, though. It's
Who
okay.
cares? Bumblebees are awesome.
All right, so we are not done yet. We still have time on the clock. So, Lynn, question number 9. What are you curious about?
Now, let's go to 10.
Okay, we're skipping. Okay, we're going straight to 10.
Mhm.
Question 10. Give us one memory you have of each of us when we were teenagers, good, bad, or both.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought, I can do that. Well, very quickly. And it's not individually. It's when you were together and you were in my driveway and you were saran wrapping my car. And do you remember that? Chris Johnson was there too.
She was absolutely there.
Oh, yeah. And my husband heard some noise out in the driveway and crept out on a flat roof, which was over a porch. And I swear to God, he jumped from that porch and backed you guys right into a fence. And all I could hear was, Mr. Brand, it's Jenny and Ian. And then the crazy part is just like, oh, hi, you guys. Oh, we'll just finish what you were doing. And I don't know. I don't think you did. I think you were so thrown by the whole thing.
We got caught. It was one of the few times we got caught doing shit, you know?
Were you saran wrapping my car? I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I think we were.
I think we were.
Yeah.
So it was for love.
That's
it was out of love.
It was out of love. God, we were annoying.
Yeah,
so
that's not
annoying.
You know,
Yeah.
small town, no cell phones.
There was nothing else to do.
Once you went to bowling and watched the movie and had sex with whoever you were dating with at the time, at least for me, there was nothing else to do but saran wrap cars.
I did not have sex in high school.
Oh.
I didn't want to be. Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course I remember you
bored.
girls in forensics. That's
yeah.
that's a very strong memory for me.
That was fun. We were part of the inaugural team.
Yeah, those were good memories. I loved being on that team.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was very. And for people who don't know who forensics, just look it up because it doesn't have anything to do with crime.
It's not. It's not. It's performance art.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But what I loved about that is it was a fun way to get to know other high school kids, you know, and like you would see these kids from like the Detroit area and they were so cool and they were goth and, you know, it's like to see somebody that was goth in 1988 was like, what is that? You know, and they were listening to, you know, bands like Love and Rockets and all these, and you're just like, like that kid's gay. I know it.
Right.
The Cure, right? I know, right? I'm like, I was introduced to The Cure by what's her name? I can't think of it. She was when I was a senior in high school. She was one of our main competition. Bruce Pendleton and I were a duo together, and she was part of a duo that was like our main competition in a lot of these tournaments. And we got to talking afterwards because she was really nice. I don't remember her name, but she was like listening. She had her Walkman on. I'm like, what are you listening to? She's like, oh, I'm listening to The Cure, and it was Disintegration. God, what a great album! So good. Anyway, so yeah, opening doors, opening minds.
Yeah, exactly.
That. Yeah, no, it was cool.
That was cool. So really fast, I want to tell you what I think you're doing right.
Okay. Hang on. But that's question 10. Question 10 is one thing that we're doing right. One thing you'd like to see us do better. Go.
So intro is perfect. How the music is perfect. How you get into the banter is perfect. I think the only thing that you need to work on really is your closing. Figuring that out. And I think I would go back to the music. Do you go back to the music?
We do. We have closing music. Yes.
Yeah, but finding that consistent closing line.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, we haven't found a consistent closing line yet.
Usually it's because we're running out of time.
I know. We're like, okay, we're running out of time.
Yeah, right. Like now.
Exactly. exactly. That's exactly it. Okay, thanks. Bye.
I love you guys.
We love you too, Lynn.
We love you too.
Lynn, we already gave you a tote bag, didn't we?
Oh yes.
Okay.
And
So now we have to
stickers.
come up and stickers.
And stickers. So, well, I am setting up our our print account this weekend so that we will have T-shirts and hoodies because apparently, people have spoken. We put a question out as far as what kind of stuff people want, and lots of people answered. We had like 14 people that answered on Spotify, and people want T-shirts and hoodies, and one person wants a giant water cup like a Stanley and some water bottles and stuff. But mostly people want T-shirts and hoodies. One or two people want hats, so we'll get to that. Do you like hoodies? Are you a hoodie person?
Or are you a T-shirt person?
You guys don't have to send me anything. I've got enough.
No.
No, it's for us. It's marketing.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. You're promoting us.
okay.
You're promoting us. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So
Let's do it.
It's right. You're the hero.
that's right.
You're welcome.
You are. So, speaking of that, Lynn Brand, we are going to say thank you. This was really fun, and again, this is because we kind of live far apart, so we don't get to get together very often to hang out together. So this was really nice to be able to do this and just catch up. And wait, we have a comment. Our commentary. So we have a faux Ann Brothers in this show, and actually it's Duncan watching on Ann's computer or their computer, which has Ann's name on it, but it's the Big Dumb Cup. That's right. You can get. We're gonna make it available. The Brothers Sisters Smart Dumb Cup.
Oh, nice.
I think that's awesome. Smart Dumb Cup.
Trademark.
Exactly. Copyright.
All right, let's do your outro.
I just made myself laugh. All right. So anyway, Lynn, thank you so much. Sneak peek for next week. We are Lynn, if you don't mind staying with us, we'll take you out at the same time. Is that okay with you?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So next week, you guys, we will be like this show will drop on Monday as always. And so the 20th, we will be doing a sneak peek. We are going to be looking at Amy Tan's new book, The Backyard Bird Chronicles. And we're doing this because we actually get to go see her next week. She's going to be, for those of you that aren't familiar with Amy Tan, if you're familiar with the book, The Joy Luck Club, she wrote that book. That's probably her most famous work. But she's written a book. It's a chronicle of her becoming a birder, which is kind of what she really started doing in 2017. We're going to listen to her talk up in Traverse City next week. And I'm going to make a play to get her on the podcast. Oh my gosh. No.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to try.
No promises.
We will be taking a tote bag with us and many stickers. And we're going to try and woo Amy Tan into coming onto the show because, she doesn't have anything else going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely wants to be on our podcast.
Absolutely. Because we have tens of followers.
Exactly.
So there you go. So anyway, that's what's coming up again. That's going to drop on the 20th because, like I said, this weekend, A, we're taking it off because it's Mother's Day, and B, because we got Lynn right here with us, who is the godmother of our show. So there you go. You can support the Brothers Sisters for free. Again, you guys, we would really and honestly, this is our shameless promotion. Please like us, subscribe, review. Whether it's Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, it doesn't matter. Just pick one, like it, or pick all of them because it takes practically no time at all for you to do any of those things.
And if you really like one of our shows, then please post it on your own social media.
That's right. So just so you guys know, we are having the Summer Slam that starts in June, where we are going to be shamelessly promoting ourselves at all times. So just be ready for that. Summer Slam. That's right. All right. So SummerSlam. Anyway, you guys, that is our show for this week. And again, thanks for watching with us today. Again, we will be dropping this podcast on Monday on the Spotify and all the other ones that are attached to the Spotify account. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. There it is. There's the outro. Sisters on Brothers, and with me as always is
Ann Brothers.
That's right. Thanks you guys for watching. We love you. We will see you soon. Oh, look, I'm going to put that in the background. Peace and out.